Hey, thank you. I'm going for brunch just now. We got family here, so we're just going for brunch.
Oh, very nice.
I'm just gonna log in from the laptop. It's taking a few minutes. But hi, Ambi. Hi, Holly. I'm going for brunch
And
just now. There you go. No, 1 second. It's coming.
You are live and good to go. Okay, are we all set? Brilliant. Okay, warm welcome to everybody from all over the world, whether you're from Zambia, Kenya, US, Australia, UK, Ramya around the corner from my house. Everybody, warm welcome. Just wanted to say that if you know anybody who hasn't joined, please nudge them. If you can, co-lead Urvi and Ambi, please, if you can, just nudge them. So before I start, I would like to, obviously, Ronnie's on a course this long week. It's been a very intense course. So he's asked me to facilitate this webinar. So I hope I do him justice. So please forgive me if I make any errors, okay? Now, before I start again, I would like to introduce you to my co-lead as well, Urvi Shah. Urvi Shah is also our Kilimanjaro co-lead. So Ronnie is Kilimanjaro lead, and both Urvi and I are his co-leads. So you haven't met Urvi before on our call, so I'd like to introduce you to Urvi. Urvi, would you like to say hi and say a little bit about yourselves, please?
Hello. So excited for all of you to be climbing this year. I was there last year, co-leading with 25 people on the mountain with Hina and Ronnie, and it was so amazing. And I cannot wait to see. I'm on the group, and I'm always sort of eavesdropping to see. Oh, wow, yes. So you guys are doing really amazing. We see your reports, we see your hikes, and it's super encouraging to know that you all are going to make it. I'm Urvi and I'm from Kenya. 4 years into Fit Banker, lost 20 kilos and summited Kilimanjaro twice. One was my own personal project, just like all of you. And when you go up and when you come down the mountain, it's a different you, as he now says. And I never knew that being a mom of two and a business and a jewelry designer by profession now, would I be really doing mountains? But it's become my safe space, my home, and my outlet to life. So, passionate about mountains, any mountains, passionate about all of you going up there. We're here as a great support system alongside. So, if you want to reach out, or, obviously the backbone of the back end of things to see how you all are doing, but really warm welcome again. And that's a little bit about me.
Thank you, Urvi. So the reason I'm introducing Urvi, sorry, we should have introduced her earlier on when the webinar started. So apologies for that. But in case I'm not around or Ronnie's not around, if I'm climbing a mountain, Ronnie's in a course, Urvi can answer any questions that you have. So she's well trained on all questions. So if you suddenly start saying Urvi responding, please don't freak. She's just one of our other co-leads who's been on Kilimanjaro twice and is just knowledgeable as me and Ronnie, or even more. Okay, so first of all, I'd like to, so lots of people are coming in, sorry. I'd like to acknowledge you, all of you, for coming in and making some time to come on this webinar. It makes a massive difference, not to us, to you and your mental preparedness, basically. So just really wanted to acknowledge you. Before, obviously today we are going to talk about legacy boards, but I'm going to take about 5-10 minutes talking about hiking. Okay. Now, as of today, till the 18th of June, you now have 3 months. Let that sink in. You have 3 months that you will all meet as a team on the 19th of June, and you'll be preparing to climb the most beautiful mountain that has given birth to me, Urvi, and other people who've climbed this mountain. So you've got 3 months to really reel all your practices in. So what I mean by that is, in these 3 months, please prepare all your hikes. You must at least do 6 hikes in these 3 months. So there's 2 hikes a month. You've got March till April and May. Prepare yourself, prepare your body. So you know the minute you get on the ground, you have prepared as much as you can. When you get on the mountain, it'll be a different aspect completely. It'll be completely different environment. But you know, once you've prepared yourself, you're ready. Anything can happen, but you're ready. You've done all your practices. Okay. Now, the 6 hikes can be minimum of 10 kilometers. Okay, it's not just round the block. Make sure there's hills involved. Do about 15 to max 20 kilometers. Please don't go to 30 kilometers because on Kili, you're not going to walk 30 kilometers ever. You're going to maximum walk 18 kilometers, okay, on an uphill or on a descent. So don't go crazy. And also, it's not a marathon. Remember to listen to your body, and all the stamina should come on because you will be walking for 7 days continuously, whether it'll be 4 hours or it'll be 8 hours or 16 hours. So the more practice we put the practice in, the more you know you can do this, basically. One of the things I learned from Ronnie is not fit does not mean not summiting. And fit does not mean summiting. Does that sink in? Does that make a difference? So not fit, even if you're not fit, does not mean you will not summit. You will summit, but you'll summit at your own pace, at your own time. You may not summit as a group. You haven't signed this as a group. You've signed this as your own personal goal. So whether you're not fit, don't think you won't summit. You will summit, but you'll summit at your own time. The fittest people who have gone on the mountain have not summited. So if anybody's thinking, oh, I'm really, really fit, don't let that get to your ego. You will summit, but at your own pace. If you see anybody on the trail, they're walking really fast, I feel all alone. I'm going to give you a really fresh example. I went to Mount Meru and I was bunched up with other people who are coming in Mount Meru with the ranger, all really fit. There were Germans, there were people from Norway, Copenhagen, and they just walked so fast. And I was just like, I panicked and I couldn't keep up. And I just really felt like I was really behind the group. And I was at the back end of the group. But you know what? I didn't let that affect me. Yes, for first 10 minutes, the devil started playing in my mind. Hina, you can't do this. You're not fit. They're fitter than you. They're faster than you. And I was huffing, puffing. I was hot. I had a backpack that was heavy. Was the hottest day. I'd worn some really thick leggings and I had double pairs of socks. The wrong outfit completely. And all these things that are coming in my head. Okay. And what I did was I just slowed down. I just took my bag off because Bryce and the guy said, let me take your bag. After 10, 20 minutes, I would please take it. Because he said, let me take it here. He's asked, be open to contribution. So I gave it to him. I then just went slowly. He also said, we're going to go slowly because we're walking up a hill and we're I can't say this word, acclimatizing, basically. You basically have to get in with the altitude. So just walk slowly. I was 45 minutes behind for day 2, but I didn't care at the end. I just was, this is my hike and I'm going to do what I want to do. So my message to you guys is whether Pri goes running up the mountain and Rajiv is at the back, don't worry about it. I'm just using as an example. This is not a comparison and don't compare at all. Okay, don't think, oh, I'm not fit. Your mind is going to play games when you're on the mountain. And that's exactly what happened to me. I'm not good enough. I'm going to quit. This is it. My journey ends. But don't. Their journey is their journey. Your journey is your journey. Take your time. And on this Kili, you've got the best guys that I have selected. I'm honestly saying, I have selected the 10 best guides that I know will look after you guys, okay? You've got Bryson, who took me to Mount Meru. You've got Julius. No, Julius is not there, but you've got Agostino, you've got Calvin, you've got Noli. They're all experienced guides who will make sure that you will get supported. Any questions on hiking or a comparison or anything like that, please feel free to let me know now, or any concerns. Okay, good. I guess that's nobody saying anything. Is everyone's really listen intently and are ready to go and talk about their legacies. So I'm going to share my screen. Please forgive me. I'm hoping I share the right screen. Ambi will correct me if I haven't. Can you see my screen? Where are you guys gone? Oh, apologies for that. Can you see my screen? Can one of you please?
Yes, we can.
Thank you.
Perfect.
Thank you. Okay. Oh, okay. Right. Just going to start this. The purpose of this call is to connect and know each other. So by now, all of you know each other, who's who, etc. And be open in the Kili chat. Some of you may feel overwhelmed, but just keep asking questions. Sandy, thank you so much for asking good questions. And no question is silly question. So anything you want to know, please ask on the group. So it's just that it's for your summit and we'll do our best to answer as much as possible. So keep asking and don't feel like, oh, why is somebody asking so many questions? Because they want to know, they want to be prepared. So just keep asking. Share your progress updates. If anybody's done any hikes, anything, whether you're doing something, just share. So thank you to Pooja, thank you to Aarti, thank you to everybody, whoever's done a hike and is sharing in the group. You are inspiring and empowering everybody. Obviously, I'm not picking on anybody. I'm just, whatever's coming in my head, I'm just saying those names. So don't think I haven't said your name. Apologies for that. If you have any concerns or any questions, let us know in the group, or if it's very private, you could always DM me. Right. Body prep, you have 3 months. 3 months, I will keep saying this on this webinar, to really prep your body. Nutrition and training is key now. Those pack of crisps, those chocolates, they need to be outside your cupboards now or throw them away till the 30th of June. Make sure your nutrition is on point. I'm not telling you to lose weight or anything like that. It's up to you, but make sure your nutrition's on point and training is on point. Those are the 2 main things that you will need for Kilimanjaro. Mental prep, visualization. Visualize you are at the top of the roof of Africa, 5895. At the board, you're sitting there. Visualize what you're going to wear. Do some meditation, whether it's 5 minutes, 10 minutes, 15 minutes. Meditate and visualize yourself there. If you want to do a visualization exercise, I'm happy. Just let me know. I'm happy to do it. Day by day, I will tell you exactly what to do, what we're walking, and we can do that as well. But you visualize yourself, whether it's on the phone, wherever, print out Kilimanjaro and put a picture of yourself. Then every day, look at yourself there. It really does work because you're manifesting it. Gain insight and meet others. So all of you, whenever you're training, make sure you meet. UK team, Ramya, Salma, make sure you do meet up. Seema, I know you will meet up with Ronnie. Or if you go to Kenya, make sure you meet up with Aarti and Urvi. US team, you know you're going to meet up. And Pooja, I know you're already meeting a lot of strangers hiking. So absolutely brilliant. So make sure you do meet up. Learn Swahili. It really helps a little bit. Something like jambo means hello, kwaheri means bye, asante means thank you. Those 3 words are really, 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 it'll actually just, when you're with the porters or the guides, it really makes it a little bit personable. They may start speaking Swahili and you're like, no, that's all you have to say. You don't need to know the whole Swahili lingo, but you need to just jambo, hello, basically. Or if you say mambo, it's still hey. It's a slang kind of thing. Hey, and they'll say poa, okay, basically. Mountain games, songs. There are some songs that they will sing, etc. on the first day or lunchtimes or in the evening. Get to know them and just enjoy. If you don't know the words, just go when they sing, enjoy and dance, because there are more uplifting songs they sing. Okay, get clear on your goal and mountain and what is your why. I'm sorry, but Pri is laughing. I need to stop. Pri share.
I'm so excited. I'm so super excited. And I just told Ambi she should come on the trip. So I don't know why she's just like not signing up yet. So I'm convinced that Ami should be coming on this trip as well.
Let's manifest it then. Visualize it. Visualize it. Make it happen.
I know. I'm imagining doing reels with her and all kinds of things. So just saying.
Ambi, visualize it. You're doing a second summit on Kili. You may not have a third baby, but at least have a visualization. 3 months to go. Right. Your vision board tells the world what you want to achieve. Your vision board tells the world what you want to achieve. Your legacy board is the world telling you what a difference you made to their lives. By Ronnie Rich, aka Ronak. Okay, right. On that, I'm going to do a recap of what we learned the last webinar 4. So there are 4 tiers on leadership, on the mountain, and in life. The first one is always the first one. Life is happening to me. We're trapped in the status quo of uncertainty, fear at the effect of life. Then you go through life is happening for me. You go through challenges and adversity and suffering. Then we talked about life is happening through me. Okay. We do leadership courses as TCB that everybody knows. We also have HR programs. We've got 90-day challenge. You know, they bring out the leader, the creator, and the coach in you. So life is happening through you. And then when you are on the mountain is, you know what, life is happening as me. So whenever, you know, people will be seeing you and they may want to climb after, and you're like, shit, I've actually accomplished this. And you know what, later on, you're like, oh, they're doing what I want to do as well. So life is happening as me. Oh, what's happened to my thing? Okay. Ronnie, as always, love his topless pictures on Roof of Africa. So stand in the future, visualize yourself already there. Right now, on the 27th of June or the 26th, you will start summiting. Visualize yourself standing there. Seema, visualize yourself sitting by the board. You are already there. In fact, beyond there, and then work backwards, visualizing the steps that get you there. So, going to go about legacy now. Our assignment was to get legacy boards, prepare our affairs in order. So prepare your wills, your drafts, your assets, your password, your pension, your insurance detail. Always keep this as handy as possible. I always have it. Even when I went to Mount Meru, I gave it to my sister. I said, oh, I'm going again. Here's the envelope. And every time I come back, I get a return envelope back, basically. It's got everything in it. Obviously, it's not open. I've checked it a couple of times. She hasn't tried to open it, even the seal. So just make sure you get your affairs in order. Okay. It is sometimes a couple of years ago, we did have somebody freak out, but the intention is not to freak anybody out or scare anybody out. It's just also an assignment to make sure it's all done, because you just don't know what will happen in the next hour, 2 hours, or tomorrow. So it's always be good to be prepared. We've already selected 2 leaders. So we've got charity fundraising, and thank you to Pri for creating the charity fundraising page. I request all of you to start raising as much as you can now. And when you get on the ground, you will see on Friday 20th, when we go actually to see all the deaf children, what facilities are being built and what they're going to do. We'll sort out splitting of the bills. So I'm going to have a meeting with Aarti and Pratik. I'm going to train them on the spreadsheet, and just basically everybody just they will sort out all the tips, and it'll be easy. I'm not stressing about it at all. So Aarti and Pratik, I will be requesting maybe a Zoom meeting just so I can share the spreadsheet. Okay. So legacy board. I don't know whose one I have put first. So if you see yours, please, I'm not picking on you. It's just gone that way. Oh, and it's Aarti. Aarti, please come off mute and talk to us about your legacy board, please. And this is going to be very powerful and delivered in 60 seconds. Okay. You are unleashing your potential here. So just be very powerful. I will be timing this and it'll be 60 minutes, please. I'll tell you when the timer starts. Just bear with me one moment.
Okay, before you time me, it may not be accurate, but I've tried. I did Google on to what a legacy board should be like, and then that's why I've just put in like the accomplishments and impact on others. So just letting you know.
Thank you, Arti. Look, you've done a little bit, all of this. So I'm really acknowledging you for doing and Googling and etc. legacy board as well. So anything is better than nothing. Ambi, you've got your hand up.
Could I just add here as well? So firstly, well done for doing it and all of you that did put it. And the legacy board, just to recreate off of last time's assignment, is just, it's distinct from a vision board. A vision board is hopeful. It is at times even dreaming smaller. But a legacy board is literally the last day of your life. And then you look back and it is everything you've accomplished, right? It's done, it's dusted, it's in your bio data, your autobiography, it's everywhere, and it's a real acknowledgement of self. And so it's looking back. And so that's what it is, and that's how it's distinct from a vision board. And so I'm sure, Aarti, it's going to capture all of those details, but we're excited and well done for putting it together. Back to you, Hina. Thank you.
Brilliant. Thank you. Ambi, I don't know how to spotlight Aarti. So before Aarti starts, how do I spotlight, please? You got it? Brilliant. Okay, Aarti, ready to go? Start.
Yeah. Okay, so loving daughter, wife, she took pride in looking after her family and friends, a seasoned banker and a leader who allowed her team to thrive by ensuring she was inclusive and empathetic, definitely self-made and climbed the corporate ladder on merit. Growing up in Nairobi, she didn't have a cushy childhood. Being the first child, she had to drop out of school, but eventually one of her uncles helped her pay through part of her education, and then that's how she educated herself. She did get married young, but that marriage didn't last, came back home, and eventually met her current husband. Her drive to learn didn't stop because she pursued an MBA, Business in Emerging Markets, while expecting her first child. She fully funded the course and eventually went on to graduate, and with her 2-year-old and husband cheering her on. She also was first runner-up Mrs. India Kenya 2021, which is the first time it was held in Kenya. Also Mrs. Entrepreneur for that, and she performed stand-up comedy for the first time. This is one of her talents. 2022, she was diagnosed with precancerous cells, and the next 2 years underwent a couple of surgeries to deal with the same. Came out much stronger, resilient, and it's her positive attitude to life that she always said good in any situation. She loved the stage, modeling, acting. At the age of 40, went back to her first love and started participating in theatricals. And this is probably her purpose, and I think it is her purpose. It made her really happy. She summited Mount Kilimanjaro in 2025 and became an avid hiker thanks to Fit Banker. Her impact on others, she loved herself, and this is what she taught her daughters and her nieces especially, as self-love is the purest form of love. She said, if you can't love yourself, you will not be able to love others. Her nieces loved her for the encouragement and referred to her as the fun and favorite aunt. Always had an optimistic outlook, encouraging word for all she met, especially empowering women. Always looked for the good in any situation and emerging stronger from difficult situations. Brought life to any party with her dancing and smile, and was open to embracing new cultures and learning. Always ready to help and volunteered at her community, even at work, and was always there for her colleagues, be it just as someone to talk to or to rally for better conditions or monetary assistance. Always ready for an adventure, and glowed when she was on stage, acting, performing stand-up comedy, or emceeing, and entertaining people was her thing. She loved the ocean and blue sky. She was bubbly, colorful, and always smiling, even in adverse situations, and the go-to person for pep talks. Her motto was always show up strong, and this was one of her biggest strengths.
Absolutely beautiful. I didn't have the heart to stop at 1 minute. It was 2 minutes, 30 seconds. I just didn't have the heart. I absolutely loved it, and it was beautiful. Beautiful. Bringing tears in eyes. Okay. Next one. Pooja.
All right. Pooja died a centenarian, surrounded by her children and grandchildren and great-grandchildren. She made a bucket load of money and won Pharmacy of the Year more than once with her business. And it segued into filtering out to some of her life's purpose. She started off with a project in 2022, a water project in Zambia, putting water in a school. And she decided that she didn't want to ask people for donations anymore. She was just going to make the money herself. And she put water holes all over the world. She supported a sanitary pad, a reusable sanitary pad project, and an education program. This is her legacy. She was Australian of the Year in, I don't know, whatever year. She always wanted to adopt a child, but her husband wasn't on board. So she started a big sister, little sister mentoring program. She lived a life of adventure. She was a real cheerleader for people, and she lifted people up. That's who she was, and her legacy lives on through her service and through her children, who have turned out to be even better than she is. I don't know how long that was.
Oh, 1 minute 15 seconds. It's beautiful, really beautiful. I love your legacy boards, guys. So beautiful, and the cause is so good. Okay, next person, Sandy.
Those are some tough acts to follow, and Aarti set the bar really high. I just want to call that out.
We're all family here, so when you're ready, let me know.
All right. So Sandy was a beloved wife, mother, daughter, sister, niece, and a friend. She dedicated her life to family, and her selflessness and generosity knew no bounds. She was a steady and comforting presence to all those around her. Sandy was fiercely intelligent. She trained as an attorney, and while pursuing her law degree, she was headhunted from her internship to a general counsel's position. She also interned during the same time, took her bar exam, and pursued 3 different licenses in finance that made her a financial consultant, a principal, and a supervising principal. So this included waking up at 3 a.m. and getting home at night after midnight and doing that over and over again for a year. Sandy was a youth leader at her university as the president of the Hindu Student Society. She created cultural events as well as awareness around Hinduism and the unity that it brings in terms of its spiritual practices. She loved to raise money for underprivileged children in South Africa, and once she immigrated to the US, was a founding member and board director for a team that organized reunions for South Africans in the US and Canada. She loved to volunteer and help her time out in need, and one of her pet projects became the Houston Food Bank, to go out and distribute food and much needed medication to the homeless in Houston. Sandy was a warm and welcoming host and loved to spend time with friends and family. Her doors were always open to entertain and just include a warm hand. Her warmth extended beyond her family. It was even said that if Sandy had nothing to give, she will without hesitation give the shirt off of her back. That's who she was, gave her time, talents, and possessions to everyone she knew. At work, she became a much sought after thought partner. She created a wealth management learning and coaching program within finance. She evolved and implemented a career accelerator program for women in finance. She created 4 onboarding programs for those that are new talent to finance, including making sure they're getting licensed and stepping into roles, enabling them to become financial advisors and helping clients meet their career and finance goals. She became a licensed mediator and international arbitrator, worked on herself and explored her relationship with God, was a 90-day challenge with an organization called Fit Banker and became an advocate for their Healthy Relationships course. She mounted Mount Kilimanjaro with Fit Banker in 2025 and became an avid hiker as a result. With a kind and vibrant spirit, an old soul, and a wonderful sense of humor, Sandy was genuine, walking through life with humility and integrity.
Wow. Very, very nice. Thank you, Sandy. Okay. I don't know how long you actually took because I think it's over 3 minutes, but I just lost time. Okay, next one. Jigna, are you able to come off mute and present your legacy?
Jigna just put a message in the chat box, Hina, saying, I have too much going on in the background with kids. May I request I share mine afterwards before the end of today in our chat via a video?
Fine, no problem. Okay, Jigna, no problem, whenever you can. Ramya, are you able to? I know you were driving earlier.
I'm just walking into the house, so maybe perfect timing.
Okay, so whenever,
Yeah.
once you're settled, let us know and you can start.
Yeah, I'm here.
Brilliant.
So mine's a really short, small one. Ramya leaves behind 2 children instilled with strong values, leading by example just as she did. A husband who, through her unwavering support, was motivated at every step to pursue his dreams and live fully. She leaves behind a legacy that goes beyond design. Through Sia Designs, she didn't just transform spaces, she transformed lives, inspiring introverts, homemakers, and other aspiring individuals to embrace their passions and live life to the fullest. She spent the last decade of her life on a profound journey inward, seeking the truth of the self, the inner eye, and striving for the peace spoken of in the scriptures. In the final years together, she and her husband lived in complete harmony and contentment, embracing the tranquility that comes with true self-discovery.
Beautiful. Beautiful. Well done. And yeah, you're right on time as well. Okay, I think I've got one more. Pri, I know you said you didn't want to. Can we empower you and see if you can present your legacy board?
Right. Okay. All right. Okay. So Pri lived for a very long time. She raised a lot of funds for sex trafficking, girls that are sex trafficked in Nepal through selling her paintings. She always wanted a baby girl, so she joined a program where she was able to inspire little girls. And I don't know, I'm just making stuff up as I go. Okay, so the family picture is she wanted a baby girl, so she left 3 kids behind. The other part is her kids were very inspired to take on their help. She wrote a children's book about health again. She climbed mountains. She was all about adventure and being around nature. She loved inspiring other people in her journey, with her journey, and raised a lot of funds for supporting others, as well as in her personal training business. She was awarded by the National Academy of Sports Medicine for her Pursuit of Excellence Award as a personal trainer. She will be remembered for her creative talent in painting, serving, having a love and light personality, transforming in health and wellness, and her leadership in empowerment and uplifting of all. Ta-da!
Beautiful. Beautiful.
Yeah.
Having the girl, I think, is also Ronnie's dream as well. So maybe you and Ambi can discuss some notes when you get on the mountain.
Ambi at the mountain, yes, I'm imagining that. I'm creating and manifesting this to happen. Ta-da!
Okay, I'm not sure. I think that was it, right? Okay, so thank you so much for sharing your legacies. One of the reasons we do these legacies, we do vision board exercises, we do all the wills, all the legacy, is also when you're walking on the mountain, you have no idea what will open up at that time for you. You will go through physical, emotional, mental, and spiritual challenges, basically. And at that time, all of these will click on at that time as light bulb moments. Like, if anything happens, okay, I've lived my life and I know what people will say about me. Or I have actually achieved my dream. I've done my vision board. So all of these things, we are mentally preparing you. It's not to scare. It's nothing like that. It's just getting everything in order, basically. Saying that, this is all I have for today as legacy boards. What I'd like for next time is we are going to work on your mantras. Okay. Some mantras are like, for example, you're going to work on your mantra. So when you're on the mountain, if Pri tells me my mantra is, I don't know. So for example, my mantra is, I'm not a quitter. I will. Timer just stopped. Sorry, Pri. Right. Okay. So my mantra is, I'm not a quitter. I keep carrying on. If I fall, I dust myself off and get up. That's my mantra. So if I'm on the mountain and I decide, guys, I can't do this, I want you as a team, my family, to empower me and just say, remember your mantra. Why are you on here? What was your purpose for coming and signing up for Kilimanjaro? And that's when you say you are not a quitter. You're here to get to your goal. So all of you, it's different. It will have different mantras. One of the other girls had, I didn't get this far to get this far, basically. So she just carried on walking and walking until she knew she reached summit point. So assignment for next one is design your mantras. It could be short, I do not quit, or it could be a sentence. It's up to you guys how you want to design your mantras. Any questions on that?
Can we have a few mantras, or it's just the one you want to that resonates with us?
It's whatever resonates with you. You can have a few. You can have 1, 2, 3, and you have to keep going. Especially on summit night, these mantras will come in. Because your mind will start playing. There will be the devil saying, this is hard, let's turn back, But your mantras on the other side will keep saying, keep going, we have to do this, keep going, a little bit further. Mount Meru, for me, I nearly gave up twice. I don't know if anybody's following me on Instagram or Facebook. You've seen, day 3, I've posted, and twice I gave up at summit night at Mount Meru. All my guide was said, no, just have a rest, have a pre-workout shot, take a break. And because what happens, you're so tired and your mind's like, you're just not good enough, Hina, you won't get there. And no matter how many mountains or how many things I've achieved, these things will always keep coming. But all you have to do is focus on your mantra. And I was like, I'm not a quitter. I'm going to keep going. I'm going to keep going. So just keep going, whatever your mantra is. Pooja?
I guess the question sort of based on what you were saying, you know, when that feeling is like you want to quit or you're behind or whatever. One of the things I've noticed, like even on my hikes with this random hiking group, obviously I don't know them well, but I'm kind of mindful that like I don't want to like inconvenience anyone or delay anyone, or so there's this kind of underlying pressure like to keep up. What is like obviously there comes a point where if you're falling behind like excessively, then obviously that's an issue. But like, is it like obviously go at your own pace, but you don't want to get too separated? Because the other thing is I lost my map. Like I went hiking yesterday and I lost my map. So there was pressure to keep up just so I didn't get lost, and we didn't have signal. So how does that kind of work, like for peace of mind? If you are kind of one of the people at the back, is there like you say, okay, well, you've got to be within an hour of the first person to be able to keep the group together, or what does that look like?
So I would say, don't compare yourself as to, I
Yeah.
need to be with them. Let go
Yeah.
of comparison.
Yeah.
At no point on the mountain, you will be by yourself. At no point. On
Okay.
summit night, you will have a guide and a porter.
Okay.
So even though, say for example, Remya you can see her,
Yeah.
that's her journey. That's hers. She's at her pace. Your body is only doing as much as it can, but you don't compare yourself. Oh my God, she's fit. Stop your mind playing these games. All you do is just one step at a time. You're not Simba, you're not a lion. Yeah. On the mountain, you're a tortoise. You're going to take slowly, 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 slowly. This is not a marathon. This is your goal. This is your summit. You summit at your time.
Okay, so there's not like a pressure to be within like an hour of the first person or anything like that?
No. As a team, our team, our porters, our guides, especially if you have Judy and Janet, the women, they're there to empower women, especially women. They will
Yeah.
sing songs for you. They will make sure you're not by yourself. They'll empower you so much. You're like, you want to be with them. And you have to
Cool.
find that inner drive in you, that inner child, in etc. Whatever you've got in reserves, take those reserves out and you can do this.
Okay.
This is not a race. This is not a marathon.
Yeah.
This is your goal. This is your journey. This is what you signed up for, and it's your own challenge. It's not other people's challenge. So first, I
Yeah.
would say get rid of comparison. You're not here.
Mhm.
You will be with the best guides and our team, and they will
Mhm.
make sure they will get you to your dream, your summit.
Yeah. Perfect.
Does that answer the
Awesome.
question?
Thank you. Yeah, that's super reassuring.
And you won't be
For
lost.
me, more than comparison, it's more like, the fear of like getting separated, or I didn't know but obviously you're not going to be on your own. There's no chance of being left
You won't be. I mean,
behind.
when I submitted Kili 23, we all, like the first 10 were with me. We were 42 people. Remember that? It's a
Yeah.
long line. The first 10 people were with me. Then it's one person, then it's one person, then it's one person. When
Yeah.
I was the first one to come down because I had to make sure I had to get everything ready on the camp. So I went with my porter and my cousin Dermy came. The rest people came an hour later. So it was, you come in basically staggering, basically. You're not
Mhm.
always together. So you won't
Yeah.
always be with Sandy or Pri. You will not be.
Yeah.
You will be with a porter or a guide or
Mhm.
both, and you'll come. So you'll never be by yourself.
Yeah, that's super reassuring. Thank you.
Ambi?
Can I just add on to that, Pooja, onto what Hina said, which is when we're doing our training hikes, they're very distinct to actual Kili, for one main reason, which is altitude. And so when we were doing our training hikes, everybody's personalities will be different and kick in. So my personality type, when we were doing our training treks across the UK, was I got to be ahead. Whatever group was ahead, I got to be with that group. And it was just a survival mechanism, which is how I was doing life at that stage. And so I didn't quite know what being in the middle or being at the back of the stragglers was, nor did I even want to be there. And it was like the group in the front, I was there. And then Kili day one itself, day 1 out of 7, the guides will say pole pole, which is slow down. Absolutely no part of my being was designed to slow down, nor unlike you guys, where you have your monthly training calls and then your mental training, it was a bunch of mates. Our first Kili exposure was a bunch of mates, went with guides in a group. And that was a shock to the system already to have to walk slower. And then your brain starts to kick in and psychologically go to different spaces. And then from the front to the middle, and from the middle to the back, and then to see backpacks. Others' backpacks also psychologically hit me in different spaces, which is like, crap, I'm at the back now. And you make so much interpretation out of that when your personality type is like, I got to be ahead. And so already all of that is playing in. And thankfully, because you guys have your monthly calls, you get to already get through so much of that. So that race against self, the needing to keep up with others, the concern and judgment, the peer pressure, the what will it look like if I'm left behind, right? Or what if I separate from the group? None of that dynamic is applicable in the mountain. The mountain's very, very simple. You'll go super slow, slower than you've ever walked, and much more because it's a survival necessity rather than for any other reason. You physically at some point cannot move beyond. Like for me to get from here to a meter may take about 20 seconds, because you're just walking so slowly. That's one. And then like to Hina's point is, of course you'll have the group, but you'll have guides spotting you throughout. Whereas even if you don't see the Fit Banker group there, Ronnie, Hina, or anybody else, you will still have the mountain guides who I found were a godsend, angels, and extraordinary in looking at your footing, who's dragging, who's walking fast, where does somebody need support. And so all you got to do is manage your breathing, manage your well-being, keep moving, keep walking. Every other dynamic, leave it at the gate of the mountain. All of that is taken care of. Direction, pace, companionship, all of that is taken care of on the mountain by the team.
Thank you, Ambi. Yes, the another point that Ambi's raised is about the team that we have, the hire. they are also, they're not fit banker, but they are fit banker. So don't feel like they're not fit banker coaches, etc. Don't just expect me or Uri or Ronnie to be there all the time. We've employed these, we've gone with the team so that they can assist us with our team and get to the summit point. Sandy?
Yeah, a couple of items, and then I have a couple of questions as well. So ironically, I'm like you, Ambi. I'm in life, it's just I'm naturally competitive, but I'm actually training pole pole. So I've been doing incline training on my treadmill at home with my backpack on, and I've been setting the treadmill deliberately at a slower pace so that I get used to just walking slowly, slowly, slowly. So that's been really helping. And I'm manifesting seeing people's backpacks, actually. That's going to be my comfort, because what I'm actually going to be thinking is, run along, I'm here beating altitude sickness. Because when we saw that video on Kilimanjaro, it really struck me when I saw Amir experiencing altitude sickness, and that really got me, because to me, he's incredibly fit. So when I saw that, that's when I was like, nope, I'm going to go slowly, because that's what I'm beating. I'm going to beat altitude sickness. And Hina, the video you shared on Mount Meru where you were walking ahead, I have to say was so reassuring seeing you out of breath. That was so helpful, because I was like, if Hina can be out of breath and still do it, then I can too. So thank you so much. And even at the beginning of this call, this reassurance about the hike that you just set your own pace has been immense. And I want to tell you, Hina, every visualization I've had on the mountain or about the mountain has been with you in it. So I'm manifesting you joining us on this hike. Like, that's just not going to feel complete unless you're there. So I'm manifesting you being on this hike with us.
While you're saying that, before you finish, I did speak to Ronnie last night. I just said, Ronnie, I've spoken to my bosses, and I said, my bosses have given me permission to take I work for a UK government, by the way, so I'm not allowed to take my laptop outside UK. So I said, I really like to be with the team. As you know, they all know my side thing is this, business part, and it's not conflict of interest. It's all good. So I did speak to my boss on Friday, and I just said, just wanted to let you know, there may be a possibility I may have to go on the ground, but not climb the mountain. Is it possible for me to take my laptop? So whilst the team's going, I can still work. And if anything happens, I'm there to welcome them. So the boss has given me the permission, but the cybersecurity, I have to answer their questions. But when I spoke to Ronnie, he said, let's get 6 more people in so I can come and be with you guys fully. So we're working really hard. He actually has spoken to some people yesterday. So we're working very hard to get 6 more people in so that I can join you guys. And honestly, whether I'm there or not, Ronnie's there. So I'm happy that you're visualizing me. I love that visualization. But also remember, this is also your mountain and your journey. Sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt, but carry on.
Team visualization. Everybody picture Hina there. Let's make this a group. Put more energy into this one.
Me and Ambi.
There you go. You and Ambi. I love it. So questions for you. The deaf school that we're volunteering in, I know in the spreadsheet that you sent us, there's a tab there with some items that they were looking for. I just want to confirm that those items are still things they need, and we can organize collecting those items and bringing them with us, or?
So those were last year's one.
Okay.
The last year's one. So what we will do is Pri will talk to the people on the ground and find out what is it actually, what's needed, whether it's books, pens, I mean, I took sweets, to be honest, because I just, but it's, people take different things, okay? So Pri will talk to the people at Sandaka Deaf Center and find out what's needed, and then we'll put it on the group. Pri, I know you had your hand up whilst I was saying that.
Yeah, sorry. I was just going to say that I am going to reach out to them and ask them what else they need or what they might need. I was just going to do that. I was going to do that within this week.
Perfect.
I do have a contact. Yes.
Perfect. Yeah, I have a lot of my neighbors that are ready to kind of contribute in that way. So I'm going to bring a separate bag just for that, but I wanted to make sure I'm collecting exactly what they needed.
So when you bring things to do a charity donation, once you land, once you go through immigration, collect your bags, you go through a scanner. In that scanner, you will get stopped. So the customs people will ask you, why are you bringing so much? Because they asked me this time, and last year a lot of people asked. So just remember to let them know it's for charity donation, and we're visiting Sandaka Deaf Center, and this is for this charity, so that you don't get charged any customs. So when I took bags this time, the yellow duffel bags, they were like, "Why are you taking so many?" And I had to say, "It's for your people. It's for the guides here." It wasn't, but I just said it's for the guides. It's for the team here that we take the mountain. They're like, "Oh, it's for our people." And I was like, "Yes, it's like for charity donation." So Keshav last year brought 4 bags of lots of things. He got stopped as well, and he had to explain them. It's for a charity donation. It's for the deaf children.
Perfect. So I'll note on the name of the school, and I might just put the paper in the bag as well.
Yeah.
Perfect. Thank you, Hina.
Any more questions, Andy? I love
Nope,
your
that's-
questions.
There'll be more, you know it.
Ambi?
Sandy, could I just say, in response to your observation on Amir and Hina on the mountain, the real good news, ladies, is the highest success rate on the mountains is women in the 30s, 40s, 50s, because we have learned to pace ourselves out in life. And the highest non-success or non-summit rates is alpha males for that very same personality type, which is I gotta get ahead and I gotta be ahead of the group. And that doesn't serve you at all. And so the mountain is humbling. And you would have heard Ronnie, Hina, the team say this a ton of times, but it is never the mountain that we conquer. It's our ego. And the slower we go and the more we keep pace as well and get that, whilst it's not Everest, it's also not a walk in the park. And so trusting team, trusting yourself, having that unwavering resilience, and it's okay to have shaky knees and question why on earth you're doing it. I cried every single day questioning why I was doing what I was doing on the mountain, and group community, Ronnie, got me to the summit and back. And so that was even before Fit Banker started, or I started any personal development stuff. So the non-sporty kid on the mountain, trying to figure out how to jump off the mountain and get home safely when you're neither up nor down, but we made it. And so if I can do it without any other training, you guys have far more greater success chances with all the training that you're doing.
On that note, also be open to contribution. I learned this from Ronnie. On 2020, when we were coming down after summiting, I was adamant I don't need help. I couldn't walk. I couldn't walk after 16 hours. And he was just like, Hina, be open to contribution. They want to help you come down. So just be open. If somebody's saying, let me take your bag, or let me help you, can I help you? Be open. Don't let your ego come in. And you know what? I'm ever so grateful to learn that, be open to contribution. Even this time, I actually didn't get anybody, I didn't ask anybody's help. But if somebody, like if Bryson said, let me take your bag, after 5 minutes, I was like, drop the ego. He's offered it. He can carry 20, 30 kilos. So be open and let him carry that bag. Pri or Raj?
I love that you said that be open to contribution, because even asking for funds is also a really tough thing for me to do. So all the brothers that have not contributed on Raksha Bandhan, like to me for a very long time, I'm like, put it in here, put it in here. So it's been really nice. And it's amazing how many people show up for you when you open your heart and come from that very vulnerable space of saying, I need help to raise funds for this deaf center. These kids are struggling. And it's just a different way of showing up for me and asking for it. And it's like, it's been so amazing. It's been so amazing. It's just, asking is really hard. Asking for help as a mom, as a wife, as like everything just feels difficult. But I think when we're just so pure and clean and just come from this mindset of I'm open to contribution, it's so beautiful. And everybody contributes then. It's really nice.
And you keep saying that to yourself when you're on the mountain as well, just be open.
Yeah. Thank you.
Aarti?
Yeah, I think I want to agree with Pri with what she said. Because when I sent out the posts and I sent it out on my WhatsApp groups and stuff, and then one of my friends said, "You're doing really well," and then I'm like, "Yeah, but I'm not going to I'm not going to beg. And he said, no, you're going to beg if it means you have to ask people, because this is not for you. You're not doing this for yourself. You're collecting these funds for the underprivileged. So he said to me, and I'm grateful to him that he actually said it to me. And he said, you will beg if you have to. You will demand if you have to, because you're doing this for a good cause. And I was like, okay. Yeah, so I think you just have to, it's a mindset as well.
Brilliant. I love that. So yeah, keep going, keep persisting, and just don't give up. So if you have to, don't look at it as you're begging, you're just being persistent. And you know what? You want to help the underprivileged kids, basically. Saying that, sorry, Ambi, go for it.
Just very quick one on Misandaka Deaf Center, guys. When we chose the organization, I can't say I had a emotional connection. I was at that time working in the impact investing space directly in tackling poverty. And so there was that heart muscle that was already developed, but it wasn't personal with Misandaka. And so Arti and anybody else was kind of like, it isn't, I don't feel it just yet. You want to consider that right now you guys have something that a significant number of people in Moshi won't ever have access to, which is hearing, right? You're all connected. You're all able to hear me speak and hear each other talk. And these wonderful kids born in this part of Moshi are fully able when they're born. And there's some tropical disease there that the kids get in their infancy that leads to permanent deafness. And they unfortunately haven't solved for that from a medical perspective, number one. And number two, on top of that, the kids are ostracized once they actually become deaf and dumb. Many households, many communities will ostracize the kids because they are a large liability. And when we went and I interviewed the principal and actually got to see the dormitories where the kids are kept, it was extraordinary to see the stand for these human beings, these kids who now, they're essentially their moms, their dads, they're everything. And then, to have children, and we have kids, and when these kids are born, one of the first few tests they do is check the hearing and the sight and check everything's in place. It is such a blessing to have all those senses working fine, and these kids just don't have it. What's beautiful is not only did we get to see what the kids have access to in the absence of any family structures, because some tropical disease in the region compromises their senses permanently. But one of our porters, one of our guides on the ground, Hillary, is actually a graduate from that school. He's deaf and he's dumb, and he's one of the guides, and he's one of the most extraordinary guys. And so part of our guides and team on the ground actually create recruitment and job employment for students from Sindaka Deaf Center, and create a beautiful value chain where these kids actually grow up to become extraordinary men and women. But they do vocational training, so they teach the girls beauty skills or whatever else. And so it's nurturing an entire community in the absence of their basic senses or working on the disabilities that they got. They weren't born with, they got because of lack of medical facilities in that area. And so going there and connecting with them. And when I was trekking in the UK, the more I heard about the stories, the more I met the kids, there were many moments which is like at an individual level, Ambika Khan cannot get beyond this point, but it's not about me, and it's about those people who are trying to raise funds for these kids. And so keep putting that one foot forward, and it makes a huge, huge difference, because we're all interconnected in that way. And one person's victory has us be joyful, and the suffering of these kids who have no input other than some karmic connection in them turning out to be where they are, impacts us as well.
And you will meet Hillary. He'll be hiking with us at some point. He's now got a wife and a young child. I think is 2 years old coming up to. But yeah, so you will meet Hillary on our hikes as well. So when you do meet, obviously he can't hear, but he'll understand or nod. He may ask you to be a friend on Facebook, but it's just a request, and they may want to have a chat. Talking about donations, etc., I wanted to touch on tipping. We know tipping is optional, but we've asked for $220. That's minimum. Okay. Now, if you feel like a porter or guide has gone above and beyond to help you, you will just naturally would want to tip them. So don't think just bring $220. Make sure you bring some more, like when I went this time, I forgot about the summit porter. I had to tip him, etc. So I made sure I had extra cash with me. So just make sure you bring extra cash. Obviously for dinner on the ground that you are, because dinner's not included, but also extra tipping, because some of our porters, you will see they don't have gloves. They don't, the shoes they're wearing have holes, etc. And they are walking with you to get you to summit. And it's just like the conditions they're in. Yes, it's their job, or they are paid for, but they're not paid that well. So they're basically in a way they're waiting for tourists. They're expecting that, for tipping. So don't be, I'm trying to say is be generous. If somebody's assisted you or anything and you feel like, you know what, this person touched my heart, be generous and do tip them. It's in dollars or pounds. What did I say?
Dollars, US.
Yeah, so US $220, which we will convert. So on the day that Ronnie will land, he will let you know exactly. You will have to turn them into shillings at the airport and give to Aarti and Pratik, or whatever we tell you, you'll have to give them in shillings. So convert the $220 into shillings. But at the airport, you won't be able to convert them beforehand. Sandy?
I think you've just answered my question. I was going to ask, so do we give them dollars? Or do we need to convert it? And then you mentioned that they don't have access to, or they might need replacement for their own kit, right? Are there lots of stores, like mountain gear stores and things like that in their town? Like, or is there things that maybe now that you know who our 10 guides are, is there things we can bring for them from here as a gift? Like, for us to drive to a store and pick up hiking boots is just down the street. So
in Moshi, there are no stores as such. So what the stores there are, they sell secondhand stuff for us, for summiteers. So if we've forgotten something, we can go to the shops and buy secondhand stuff. So there are no stores like, oh, let's go buy, I don't have a down jacket, I can go buy. No, you can go and hire something and then you have to return it back, basically. But these porters, or when you see them, you'll see it yourself. When I had my porter for the first time in Kili, he didn't even have gloves and it was so cold, and I went, I'm really cold. So I put his hand in my pocket because I was like, warm up with me so we can walk, because you're assisting me and I need you. So warm up with me. But when I came back to the ground, when I came back, there was a tipping ceremony. I not only gave him the tips, but I also gave him my gloves, because I was just like, I'm privileged, but you're not. So I bought in the second pair anyway, so I knew what I was going to buy another. But this is not compulsory for you guys. You don't have to give your things. It's if you want to, it's on the day you see it as well. I gave my gaiters away because I was like, oh, it's only £10. I can get new ones. He can wear my ones. But again, I'm reinstating, this is not compulsory. This is up to you guys. If you feel like, oh, you know what, my jacket or my hat or something, then give it. But we're not asking you to go and bring stuff. So
no, and not asking to bring, I legitimately want to, hence my husband's comment, I'll give you my shirt off of my back if you need it. I do want to ask, since we have these 10 guides, if any of them are in need of hiking boots, that would be something I'd love to be able to, because that to me is heartbreaking, right? They're the ones that are pushing you up the mountain, but here you are, perfectly clad, pristine gear, and they're struggling up there, but they're the ones pushing.
I can ask,
Yeah.
but knowing the team, they probably may not say anything. But I will ask them tomorrow.
Thank you.
Okay, sorry, we're about 5 minutes over, but just another thing. Obviously, you're going to work on your mantras for your next assignment. Ronnie is going to mention whether it's the next one or the one after. I can't remember which webinar he's going to mention. He will mention to bring your little thing. Now, the little thing, what it is, I'm going to explain to you. We keep saying little thing. It is basically, as a team, you will exchange gifts in between. Okay. Now, it's a little thing that's always been close to your heart, that you know what, you're now going to let go of it and give it to somebody else. For example, or something that you like and you want this person to have experience, what will happen on the ground, it will be a lucky dip. Basically, you'll pick a name off a hat, and then you give your little thing to this person. It could be a male, it could be a female. It's a unisex, so you will have to have a little thing which is unisex. So I'll give you an example what I've done in the past. I love chili sauce. I love spice. Now, I know everyone's laughing. I'm not dirty like that. So get your dirty thoughts out of your head, first of all, right? So I love spicy things, and I love spicy in life. I don't like bland, and I love putting, wherever I go, love putting chili sauce in my, if you see me, I'll have always a chili bottle with me in my handbag or somewhere else. So when I picked a name, I gave them a travel chili bottle with the carabiner. So I was like, you can always remember me by, okay? I received a pashmina from somebody because they love this pashmina. It was theirs and they gave it to me. They said to me, I'd like you to remember this. So every time I have this pashmina now, it was theirs, but now I have it. So it's something that you want to give and that you love, that you want to give, basically. So it could be a wallet. It could be anything. Seema, you're making me laugh. So he will mention it in the either in the next webinar or the webinar after. I can't remember, but make sure you start bringing your little gift. You can wrap it if you want, or put it in a bag. And the day, it will be either Thursday or the Friday evening dinner where we will exchange these gifts in between the team. It is a bit of a team bonding exercise, and also we will ask you what does it mean to you, basically, and why are you letting go. So it's something a part of you. Make sense? Okay, and final thing, the US team, the 7 bags have been delivered to Pri's house. So please make sure you collect them. It costed me 105 FedEx, 105 pounds. So between amongst yourself, please make sure you pay Pri, and Pri will transfer me the 105. So I'll leave that for you guys to decide, sort it out between yourselves, and make sure. I think, Pooja, who's giving you your bag? Pri's giving you a bag? Yeah, okay, fine. Okay, so it's your bag is already there. Okay, any other questions or any concerns anybody's having?
Hina, if possible, I wouldn't mind doing a few more visualizations. I think they're really powerful. So I don't know how best to coordinate that, but I think that'd be really helpful if you have time.
Yeah, I love doing visualizations. So I did that for 2023 team for the first time, and that time Ronnie absolutely loved it because as a group, I was like, Pooja, you're here now, or Pri, you're here. I was just doing that, and they were like, they actually visualized themselves, and when they got there, they're like, oh my God, the visualization just got us through. So I will speak to Ronnie and see if I can do a 10 or 15-minute visualization in the next webinar. If not, then I'll put out some dates and on a Saturday or a Sunday and just say, look, guys, if you've got 20 minutes to do a quick visualization, and I'll go through each camp and, what are you experiencing? What's happening to you at that time? So that, it's when you get there, you're like, oh my God, did I dream this? This is deja vu. This has happened.
Yeah.
But it's because you've already visualized it.
I don't know if it works if, like, say, maybe since we're already scheduled for whatever webinar, and then if whoever would like to join 10, 15 minutes early or stay, so it's like not another event that you have to kind of schedule. But I do really like it. I know Ronnie did the first one in the first webinar, and I wasn't there live. I can't remember why I wasn't there. And I watched it on recording. And even on recording, I don't know, there was something really powerful about it. So I do think for me, it would be beneficial for sure.
100%. We'll do that in the next webinar. We'll make sure if it's another 10, 15 minutes, people can stay behind and we can do that. Okay, if there's no other questions, I'd like Pri to go to her brunch. And everybody else have a super Sunday, and always keep the group active, keep asking questions, and have a powerful Sunday, and keep hiking, guys. Speak to you all soon. Thanks.
Yes. Thanks. Bye.
Bye-bye.
Hi, guys. I'm so excited.